You know, they say the silent treatment the ways in which it can truly ill affect someone are grave. And what I always think about, what I always worry about, and my mother always tries to tell me, you're not going to help everybody, you can't fix everybody. I worry about the person who is a weaker mind than a stronger mind. For example, even in the strongest of minds, when somebody silent treatments you, cuts you off, grudge holders, whatever, in the strongest of people, that can cause tremendous anxiety. These are real things that people feel that can lend itself to, you know, your mental illness not being quite on par. You have somebody who you're doing that, you're anxious all the time. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? You're anxious because you don't know if that's going to be what they go to next. You're anxious because you don't want to say the wrong thing because maybe they'll cut you off again. You're fearful. You're fearful? You want to walk through life fearful that you might make a wrong move? That you might make them mad enough to cut you off again? That's what you want with that person? If they're the type of person to do this, then they're the type of person to do this to anybody. Do you know what I mean? They can do this kind of thing. I could never, to another human being, cut them off with no compassion and never explain to them what, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not what I consider kosher. I don't think it's a nice thing to do. I don't think it's a good way to behave. And now you're causing anxiety in the victim. You're causing fear in the victim. The last thing the person feels is safe with the grudge holder, silent treatment person. The last thing you feel is safe. The last thing, say that out loud. Because what is, for me, the first thing I want to feel in any relationship, friend, romantic partner, family, business, I want to feel safe. I want to trust the person. I want to feel safe and know that they have my back. Well, you can't feel safe with somebody that this is their go-to move and you never know when it's coming without explanation. Silent treatment all of a sudden during dinner, but this morning you were fine. And let me tell you something also. They could have had a fight with another supply that they're courting. They could have gotten in trouble at work. They could just feel like making you miserable because that's how they feel because you came in too happy and they had a rotten day. The reasons for silent treatment are endless, but the bottom line is it's about power and control, and it's being used to make you feel anxious, feel unsafe, unstable, so that they got you where they want you to make you behave the way that they want. All I'm telling you is this. There's no way on earth I want somebody around that's trying to make me feel those things. Because all of that can lead to what? Sadness, depression. And again, I think of the people that are already, when I say weak-minded, what I mean is there are people that are already teetering on depression or maybe, right? So you get somebody that does this, that can send somebody into a tailspin. Tailspin. And not of anger, of sadness. I'm positive I would have reacted mad. I remember, and I get mad at it. But somebody else, they might crawl right into a shell, and that's it. They've lost themselves. Say somebody's in a relationship that the person uses the silent treatment. Before you know it, the victim's a shell of themselves, and they just allow that person to play all the chess moves in the relationship, move them around as far as how they want them to feel. And if you get out of line, silent treatment, here it comes. They retreat into sadness, anxious, fear, and feeling unsafe again. Do you know what kind of, that causes a trauma bond, doesn't it? But do you know what kind of damage that can do? That can make it so that even when you're out of that relationship, the victim goes out into the world, and that's going to make for someone who's skittish. Skittish. You don't know, do other people do that? Is that what, okay, so I can't speak up, like, in life? Like, are they going to cut me off? Are they going to cut me off? Are they going to cut you off? Because think about it. Any kind of abuse that is put upon you, you start thinking of it all the time. You think of it, you look at other couples and go, do they do that to each other? And you go into the world and you meet other people and you kind of have it on your mind that that's what happened to you. Do they do this? Are they going to do this? You might be more willing to accept silent treatment again if you're used to it, you've normalized it. The abuse victim doesn't think that it's abuse. They've normalized it. Well, at least he's not calling me names. At least he's not doing this. At least he's not. And so you end up minimizing the whole act of it. You're going to minimize it and give them an excuse for their behavior. Or very oftentimes the victim will not share with their family and friends what's going on behind the scenes because they're, embarrassed. They're embarrassed. They're embarrassed. I don't want anything in my life for which I'm embarrassed. I don't want any person in my life behaving in an embarrassing way for them. Because again, I want to really hit it home. The treatment of that silent treatment, is an embarrassment for a human being to behave that way. It's pathetic, it's immature, it's manipulative, it's about control. They're standing on a point that doesn't exist, most definitely. They have zero weight at all. But they think they do. Oh, well, they said this, and but I told you, I've known couples, they don't, or friends, family, I've seen it years go by, they don't even remember. They don't even remember. And I gotta tell you, again, it would have to be really bad for me to cut someone off and not talk to them and not ever answer the phone again. Like ghosting, I guess, is what it would be. And ghosting is rude too. Even when you first meet someone, have the thing to tell the person you don't want to see them again. Silent treatment, you're just going to not answer their phone? You think that's not rude? I don't care that you just met them. They're a human being. I told you when I used to meet online, I didn't give anyone the silent treatment. I would tell them on the date, if I knew I wasn't going to like them anymore, I'd be gone within an hour. I didn't break bread, and I would make sure I say to them, you know, how's it going for you online? And I would say, you seem like a nice guy. I mean, obviously, we don't have a connection, but you seem like a nice guy. Any friend, can I give them your number? Like an easy letter, but I'm not making him think I'm going to leave and not say that, and then he's going to call me, and I'm going to ghost the person? It's the same rude behavior, which leaves the victim the same anxious, fearful, not feeling safe, sad way. It's not proper. It's not manners. And the victim ends up feeling all of it. And we take it on, don't we? Definitely do you take it on. Of course you do. And I referred to that in the last video. You start to think and ask yourself, what did I do? You might alter your behavior going forward. Suddenly, every single time it happens, suddenly you're saying less and less. And, well, maybe if I'm not so forward. Well, maybe I don't bring that up. Well, maybe that's, pick your battles. How much do I hear that? Pick your battles. Pick your battles. I'm not going to say that one. He'll get so mad he stopped talking to me last time. Or I can't say, no. Anything that bothers you in life, you have a right to speak healthily to your partner, friend, family, business. Communicate that need, that want, that glitch, anything. Anyone has a right. I believe in communication, open all the way. And nobody should get mad if somebody else is expressing to them something that disappointed them. They have a right. And then you can talk about it. But for somebody to just... No, it leaves the victim feeling out of control. They don't know how to navigate it. If it's in your home and someone's doing that, you don't even know how to navigate it. You're leaving the house for an errand. Do you yell to them, I'm going out? But then you don't want to yell, I'm going out, because they might go, what do I care? And you don't want to hear that rejection because you've been rejected for 2 days because they haven't talked to you since Friday night at dinner. So then you sneak out of the house and you go to run your errand and you don't say anything, and then they get back and now all of a sudden they're out of the silent treatment. They want to yell at you for leaving without telling them. I mean, it can be so twisted. And all I can tell you is if you're on the receiving end, you have rights, you have a place, you have absolutely the space in which you can say, you can refuse it. You can refuse it. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't talk to me for 3 days? I'm going to need 9 days to get over that. I'll talk to you in a week and a half. I'm being facetious, obviously. You don't want to approach a dysfunctional person in that kind of way. It'll infuriate them. But that's almost how I feel. Like you imposed the silent treatment, so you need to beg to get back to me. I'm not ready by Monday morning at 8. You're ready? Oh, I'm not. And then what? A lot of times, they'll give up, and it'll prolong. Now they'll go back into their silent treatment. They're not going to beg you, chase you, come after you, keep leaving you messages, tell you they want to talk to you, tell you, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cut you off for 3 days, 5 days, a year, 10 years. They're not going to do that. They still think you should chase them. They feel they were the injured party. They're standing on some point. They're trying to prove to you. And you didn't go begging, and you didn't apologize, and you didn't walk on eggshells enough. Give me a break. Anybody that handles their business in that immature fashion, you don't need to fold the second they're ready. And you don't have to make it a fight. You can just continue on your own and be like, I'm not really ready to talk about that right now. You don't have to give the silent treatment back. You could just well, what do you mean? I mean, I'm over it. Can't you just bury it and da-da-da? Can't we just move on? Not at this time. I'll let you know. Oh, yeah, for dinner you want that? Okay, yep. You can execute, you know, the matters at hand, but you do not need to put up with that and internalize it and make it rip you up and get you towards the line of depression. It has nothing to do with you. The dysfunction is all theirs. And when I say all, I mean all. And again, I don't care what they say the reason is. It's not a healthy way. It's not a healthy way. Period. There's nothing healthy about it. The silent treatment. Keep your eye. It's like 3 times each video, the last video and this one. I'm going to take a sip and film my last video. You guys, thank you for watching, and watch out for that. Do not think it's something that you have to just take.